With about 60 days left to cast your ballot in the 2020 presidential election, I want to know, why are you voting? Hey, it's me, Elliot. You know, for the first 18 years of our lives, most of us hardly gave a second thought about voting. Then, all of a sudden, we gain the right and responsibility to help choose our elected leaders. But what initially got you off the couch? And why do you years later continue to vote? Well, answering the question is actor Adrian Bailey, veteran of Broadway, making his debut in 1980. He's performed in 14 shows and tours, including Smokey Joe's Cafe, Jelly's Last Jam, Kiss of the Spider Woman, and The Little Mermaid. He's currently uncovering new ground in the role of Uncle Adrian, the straight-talking, no-punches-pulled political advice maven featured in the popular digital series Uncle Adrian's Corner, produced by voting advocates Just One Step for Democracy. Take a look.
I want to know what's your problem.
Does the person who gets the most votes always win?
Short answer, no. Longer answer, has your district been gerrymandered? 1965. The Voting Rights Act restores the right to vote to black men and women throughout the South and guarantees the right of 21-year-old citizens of all backgrounds. Seriously? It took 94 years? Kids, I'm trying not to cuss, but this is some bovine feces.
Adrian Bailey joins us now from his home in New York City. Adrian, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Elliot?
I'm doing well. That is wonderful. Just a funny take. Tell me how did you find the character of Uncle Adrian, or how did he stalk and find you?
Well, initially, I got a call from Arnisha Walker, and she and Stephen Nakami, who are the founders of Just One Step for Democracy. They had seen my Facebook page. And on my Facebook page, I don't hold back what I feel about politics or anything else. So they asked me if I would want to join the group, and I said yes. And so Arnisha came up with an idea for Uncle Adrian's Corner. And so I said yes, I was glad to be a part of it. And we just started developing this character from my Facebook post. And we have a writer, Gabrielle, that's just incredible, and Stephen directs me, and we just go from there.
Wow, it's incredible. It's perfect. The timing is perfect, obviously, with the election cycle coming up, and it's really catching on. So best of luck going forward on that. You, as we said earlier, many of us came to voting late. I suppose in our youth, about 18. How did you connect with your voting experience? What inspired you to vote, and what keeps you voting today?
Well, I have to say, in the beginning, after graduating from high school, things were very hectic and going to college, and then I moved to New York, and I went on tour and all those things. So voting was not top of mind. I did follow politics to a degree, but sometimes when you're traveling, you can't easily vote on the road, traveling on a bus. So I would have to say Clinton in '93 was my first time really making that commitment to get out and go to the voting poll, and I felt good about that because I thought things were going well. I thought he was a good president for the time.
Mm-hmm. What was it? What was it about Bill Clinton that got you off the couch initially and had you out there voting?
It was, I think a lot of people talk about the man's personality. It just leaps out at you. There's something about him that makes him, like he's your best friend. And he seemed like he had a good plan for America. And, he did a pretty good job. Mm-hmm. He left us with a deficit. Not deficit.
A surplus.
Surplus, yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, going forward, I assume you voted in most every election up to this one that's coming up. What motivates you in this election? Because we hear a lot from a lot of people who say, "Well, my vote doesn't count. Why am I going to vote? There's no use to it. He's going to win. Or that person is going to win. What what keeps your mind from going there? Like many people, and I
Well,
assume that it wouldn't.
like I said, a lot of times when you're, working, especially in this kind of business, you're traveling and going all over the place. I had a really bad accident in 1980, and I was in the hospital for several months, and that's when I really had time to sit and settle down and not do anything. And it was then that Barack Obama was running for office. And for me, that was something that I could never have imagined in my lifetime, that we'd have a black president such as this man. And so my sister got an absentee ballot for me. And I remember there was another young man who was there. He was a rapper who had had an accident. He was young, and he didn't. He said to me, oh man, voting doesn't matter. It don't matter no how. But they don't even count your vote. And I had to talk to him and say that's not true. It's not true. And I talked to him, and I got him a ballot, and he voted, and I felt good about that. But moving forward, I just stayed involved after that. I just stayed involved. I really wanted to know what was going on in that country. I was concerned about what was going on, especially with black people, and so I wanted to know that the person who was in office was going to do something. Now, mind you, no president is perfect, no. But sometimes like I know a lot of people. They say this. They say, like you said, it doesn't matter. It's like I don't like either candidate. They don't speak to me, and they think that I'll just sit it out. But then they have lots of complaints. And to me, if you're not involved, if you don't participate, you can't complain because you have to be in the trenches. The thing is, we have two candidates, running for the office. Those are the two choices you have. So like I tell people all the time, it's like, look at the candidates and look at their policies. Look at what you need for yourself and your family. It's important. And now they're not going to give you everything, but one is going to definitely give you more of what you want than the other. And I think, that's important for people to really consider and not just tell themselves it's not going to matter if I vote.
Sure. And there's a lot of discussion these days about, planning to vote. This is a very unusual, very different election. There's a lot of voter suppression going on, but I think people are finding more ways to vote and figuring out how best they can do that. How do you plan to vote this season?
I'm planning on voting absentee. I've already sent out my application for my ballot, and when it comes back, I'm going to get it right back in. I think what I want to do is, track it to make sure that it gets to the proper place. But this is. I know a lot of people say with all elections, this is the most important election of our time. This is the most important election of our time. Democracy is like it's on its way out. Real justice is on its way out. We have a man that is not going to take care of all the people. He just says right out loud that he's for his people. He's for the people that he likes. He's in Kenosha today, calling the mayor a stupid fool, and saying, how did he ever become president? How did he ever become mayor? And my question is, how did he ever become president?
That's real important. Well, we're glad to hear you as one will vote. I had no doubt that you wouldn't. And hopefully other people will follow, your friends, family, and some of the people watching here today. Adrian Bailey, thank you very much for your thoughts and your ideas, and looking forward, and your conversation. All the best to you, and we'll be talking with you soon.
Thank you, Elliot. Same to you.
All right. Thank you. Adrian Bailey there. Well, keep in mind that November 3rd is not your first chance to vote. In many ways, it's your last chance to vote. So with that in mind, be sure and plan your vote. You can get started right now by checking below and seeing the links that we've left behind in the description section. Links with options that will help you make your vote, cast your ballot conveniently and easy. Be sure and like us on Facebook, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and then go vote in person. Vote by mail if you have to. Vote early if you can. But by all means, please go vote.